Good morning. It is Tuesday, February 3rd, 2026. I hope you have a large coffee in front of you.
A very large coffee.
Yes. Or maybe you're on your commute trying to wake up because we have so much to get through today.
We really do.
Usually we kind of ease into these deep dives, dip a toe in the water. But the last 24 hours in the Indian entertainment industry, it wasn't a dip.
Not at all. It was a tidal wave. You know those days where you feel like the tectonic plates of the industry just shifted while you were sleeping?
This is one of those days.
This is definitely one of those days. We woke up to a landscape that looks significantly different than it did even 48 hours ago.
Absolutely. We are talking about massive Slate announcements, some huge business moves that are going to change how movies are marketed.
And some incredibly raw emotional moments from stars that, honestly, I didn't see coming.
Me neither. It's this wild mix of like the highest corporate strategy and the most personal human vulnerability.
And that's the best kind of news day, isn't it?
It really is.
Because it reminds you that this industry isn't just about box office numbers or, streaming metrics. It's about people.
Right.
It's about ambition, it's about regret, and it's about the stories we tell. But we do have to start with the shiny stuff.
We have to.
We have to talk about what happened at the JW Marriott in Juhu.
The epicenter of the earthquake.
Mm-hmm.
Netflix dropped their 2026 slate.
Mm.
Now, we see these press events all the time. People get on a stage, they wave, they show a teaser. Why was this one different?
It was the scale. I mean, if you rewind maybe 5-6 years, a streaming event was a very specific subset of the industry.
Oh, yeah, you had your web series actors.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yesterday, you had Anil Kapoor, Sunny Deol, Madhuri Dixit, Armad Havan, Bhuvan Band.
The legends.
You had the absolute legends of the silver screen standing shoulder to shoulder with the pioneers of the digital age. It wasn't a streaming event.
No.
It was an Indian cinema event.
That's a great distinction. It feels like that segregation is finally over. We aren't categorizing them anymore.
The walls are down.
But let's cut through the glitter. Our mission today is to sift through the press releases and find the actual stories here. Because there are some fascinating creative choices being made.
We need to look past the headlines. We want to understand why these actors are choosing these specific roles now and what it tells us about the audience. That's you, listening right now, and what you're demanding from your entertainment.
And look, we're going to get serious. We're going to talk business and psychology. But I also promise you, we're going to get to the bottom of the 3 vanity van mystery.
I still can't believe we are devoting airtime to vanity vans.
It's crucial.
But I have to admit, the theory is pretty compelling.
It is essential investigative journalism. But let's start with the heavy hitters. Segment 1, the Netflix 2026 slate. You mentioned the guest list, Anil Kapoor, Sunny Deol, Mathuri.
Yeah.
Let's zero in on the project that immediately just grabbed my attention. Family Business.
This is the one to watch.
It's directed by Hansal Mehta. Now, Hansal Mehta is a name that carries a lot of weight. We know him for Scam 1992, for Aligar.
He's the guy who takes real-world grit and just turns it into absolutely compelling drama.
But here, he's doing a corporate saga.
Which is an interesting pivot for him, right? Hansal Mehta usually thrives in that individual versus the system narrative.
Right. Scam was Harshad Mehta versus the banking system.
And Scoop was a journalist versus the police system. Family Business seems to be about the system eating itself from the inside.
The conflict is described as new generation ambition versus established wealth traditions.
Mm-hmm.
And the casting is what makes me just stop and wow.
Go on.
Anil Kapoor versus Vijay Varma.
That is the headline right there. That's the whole story.
But let me play devil's advocate for a second. Anil Kapoor he's kinetic. He's got all this energy. He's jackass.
He is.
Hansal Mehta's world is usually very grounded, very realistic. Does Anil Kapoor fit into a Hansal Mehta show? Or does it feel like a clash of styles?
I think that clash is exactly why it's brilliant. If you cast a subtle, method actor to play the patriarch, you get a very dry, realistic drama. But Anil Kapoor, he represents old money Bollywood. He is larger than life. By casting him as the patriarch who is holding on to his legacy, you're using his real-life persona. He is the established king.
Look.
He doesn't have to act like a tycoon.
He's just to show up.
He carries that aura with him.
And then you throw Vijay Varma at him.
Exactly. Vijay Varma is the prince of streaming. He's the indie darling who broke through with pure acting chops, Darlings Mirzapur. Jane.
But completely different kind of energy.
He represents the new generation, not just in the script, but in the industry itself. So when you see them on screen, Anil Kapoor's loud, charismatic power versus Vijay Varma's quiet, simmering intensity.
It's not just two characters fighting.
No, it's two schools of acting colliding. It's a meta battle.
The cinematic superstar versus the streaming heavyweight.
Precisely. And the setting matters too. The source notes mention stunning global backdrops.
So it's high budget.
Very high budget. This isn't a small drama filmed in a Mumbai apartment. They are moving from local settings to international locations. It sounds like they are trying to build an Indian succession.
But with that specific emotional volatility that Indian families bring to the table.
Exactly. Relentless rivalry among key players is the phrase they used.
I'm really curious to see Anil Kapoor play Ruthless. We've seen him as the dad in Dil To Dakni Do, where he was flawed but, ultimately lovable.
Right.
If he goes full villain here, that could be something special.
I think he's ready for it. He's at that stage in his career where he doesn't need to protect his hero image anymore. He can be the antagonist.
And frankly, seeing Vijay Varma go toe-to-toe with him.
That's the heavyweight title fight of the year.
Speaking of heavyweight fights, let's look at the other massive surprise on this slate. Sunny Deol in Ika.
This one completely threw me.
Right. We are living in the post-Gadar 2 world. We're in a world where Border 2 is smashing box office records, which we'll get to later.
Sunny Deol is the action god right now. He's the man with the Dai Kilo Kahaf.
And Netflix announces him in year. A legal drama.
A legal drama where he plays a celebrated defense lawyer, Sikandar Mehra.
I have to ask, why? I mean, if I'm a producer and I sign Sunny Deol, I want him ripping hand pumps out of the ground. I want him shouting.
Of course.
Why put him in a courtroom?
I think that's exactly why they did it. It's the subversion of expectations. But we need to look at the history here. Everyone remembers Sunny Deol in a courtroom from Damini.
Tariq pe Tariq.
Exactly. That is one of the most iconic scenes in Indian cinema history.
Unforgettable.
But think about that scene. Was he acting like a lawyer? No. He was a force of nature. He was screaming. He was physically intimidating. He was basically punching the system with his voice.
That's true. It wasn't a legal argument. It was a verbal assault.
Right. But Ika is described as a premise where he defends a client who is guilty until proven innocent. That implies a complex, cerebral narrative.
So this isn't about shouting down a witness.
No, it's about strategy, loopholes, and moral ambiguity.
And the source mentioned his co-stars are Akshay Khanna and Dia Mirza.
Now, that's interesting.
Akshay Khanna. He owns the cerebral thriller space. Section 375, IDIFAC. If he's the prosecutor, that changes the whole dynamic.
It does. Akshay Khanna is such a minimalist actor. He does so much with just a raised eyebrow or a smirk.
So true.
If you have Sunny Deol trying to outshout Akshay Khanna, it just won't work. Sunny has to dial it down. He has to play the intellect.
He has to meet him on his level.
And one of our sources brought up a really interesting point about Sunny Deol's real personality.
Yes. The note about his off-screen demeanor.
Right. People who know him say he is incredibly shy, very soft-spoken, and gentle. The action hero is a persona he puts on.
It's an act.
So in a weird way, playing a calm, thinking lawyer might be closer to the real Sunny Deol than the guy holding the machine gun.
That's a lovely thought. That we might finally be seeing the actor, not just the image. It's a risk, though.
Huge risk.
The audience wants the roar. Will they accept the whisper?
That's the gamble. But Netflix is the place to take that gamble. You don't need opening weekend box office numbers. You need engagement. And people will tune in just out of curiosity to see if you can pull it off.
Let's widen the lens a bit. We've talked about the Hindi stalwarts. But looking at this slate, the biggest takeaway for me is the complete erasure of the term regional cinema.
Oh, that term is effectively dead. It's archaic.
Look at legacy. We have R. Madhavan, Abhishek Banerjee, and Nimisha Sajayan.
That casting is a manifesto.
Explain that.
Madhavan is the original pan-Indian star. Abhishek Banerjee is a staple of the Hindi heartland streaming space pedal Lok Stree.
Right.
And Nimisha Sajayan is an absolute powerhouse from the Malayalam industry, the great Indian kitchen.
Putting them together in one show about a royal family power struggle. It's not South meets North. It's just talent meeting talent.
And think about the audience. A viewer in Kochi knows who Abhishek Banerjee is now. A viewer in Lucknow knows who Nimisha is because they watched her films with subtitles. The barriers are gone.
So Netflix isn't making regional content anymore.
They're making Indian content that just happens to be set in different geographies.
And the distribution model supports that. Look at Takshakudu.
The thriller with Anand Devarakonda.
It's dropping in Telugu, Tamil, Hindi, Kannada, and Malayalam simultaneously.
That's the key. In the old days, you'd release a Telugu film, wait 6 months, dub it into Hindi, and put it on some YouTube channel.
Right.
Now, it's day and date, and for a thriller like Takshakudu, it makes perfect sense.
Why specifically for a thriller?
Because suspense is a universal language.
Mm.
Comedy struggles to travel because it's rooted in linguistic puns or local cultural references. But fear, tension, a guy hiding in a closet while a killer walks past, that translates instantly.
You don't need to understand the nuance of the dialogue to feel the heartbeat.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why thrillers and action movies are the spearhead of this pan-Indian movement.
Speaking of action and heartbeats, we have to move to segment 2, the Dhurandhar phenomenon.
This is the big, loud monster in the room.
Aditya Dar is building a universe here with Dhurandhar and Dhurandhar 2, The Revenge. The release is set for March 19th. The teaser dropped, and it is intense.
Understatement of the year.
Ranveer Singh transforming from Jaskarat to Hamza.
It's a beast of a transformation. But before we talk about the creative side, there was a piece of business news buried in there that I think is actually huge.
The music rights acquisition.
Yes. T-Series has acquired the music rights, replacing Saregama.
Now, to the average listener, that sounds like boring corporate paperwork. One logo swaps for another. Why does this matter?
It matters because of the ecosystem. Saregama is a legacy player. They own the history of Indian music, the golden oldies. They're prestigious.
But T-Series?
T-Series is a marketing weapon. They own the YouTube algorithm. They are the biggest YouTube channel in the world.
So it's not just about selling the soundtrack.
Not at all. When a producer sells rights to T-Series for a franchise this big, they aren't just looking for a check. They are buying a distribution pipeline. They know that T-Series will push the songs on Instagram Reels, on YouTube Shorts, on every music streaming platform aggressively. They engineer virality.
So they need the Hamza theme song to be the background music for every gym reel in India for the next 6 months.
That's the plan. And T-Series can guarantee that exposure in a way Saregama, with all due respect to their amazing library, just doesn't focus on.
It signals a massive, youth-oriented marketing blitz.
Exactly. They need this movie to be part of the pop culture conversation, not just a film release.
And it is definitely part of the conversation, but maybe not entirely for the reasons they want. We have to talk about the violence debate.
This is the conversation of 2026, isn't it?
Actor Jason Shaw came out with some very strong comments. He was talking about the Dhurandhar teaser and also Yash's Toxic. He used the word shock.
He said, it shows where our minds have evolved to as producers. That's a very cutting critique.
He's basically asking, why are we so obsessed with blood?
The descriptions for Dhurandhar are intense shootouts, explosions, quest for retribution. It's visceral.
Jason Shaw is arguing that we are normalizing this extreme violence. But let me ask you, is this a new thing? Or is it just a cycle?
It is absolutely a cycle. If you go back to the 1970s, the angry young man era with Amitabh Bachchan, why did that happen?
Because the country was frustrated.
Exactly. There was unemployment, there was political unrest, people felt helpless, so they went to the cinema to watch Vijay fight the system with his fists. It was catharsis.
So you're saying we are in a similar moment now?
I think so. Look at the success of Animal, look at KGF, look at Pushpa. These are stories about men, usually men, who take what they want through force.
Raw, unbridled power.
And the audience is responding to that because maybe they feel powerless in their own lives.
That's a fascinating, if slightly disturbing, psychological take. So the violence isn't just action candy.
For the audience, it's emotional release. For a critic or a thoughtful actor like Jason Shaw, it looks like regression. It looks like we are devolving into savages.
And both can be true.
Exactly. The market wants blood, but the artists are asking, should we be giving it to them?
The classic responsibility versus demand argument.
Yeah.
But hey, speaking of demand, let's talk about a very specific and very ridiculous demand. The 3-van mystery.
My favorite part of the research.
Okay, for the listener who missed this, fans who clearly have too much time on their hands were pausing the end credits of Dhurandhar.
Frame by frame.
And they found what they believe is evidence that Ranveer Singh requested 3 vanity vans for the shoot.
Not 1, not 2, 3.
Now, we have no official confirmation. This is pure fan theory, but we have to treat this with the seriousness it deserves. Why on earth Would one man need 3 vanity vans?
Okay, let's put our detective hats on. Van number 1 is obvious.
Go on.
That's the living space, the chill zone, the place where you nap and eat your broccoli and chicken.
Okay, accepted. Van 1 is the home base. What is van 2?
You have to look at the character. He's playing Hamza, he's ripped, he's huge. You don't get that body by doing push-ups in the parking lot.
No.
Van 2 has to be a mobile gym, a fully equipped high-end gym on wheels.
That makes so much sense. Ranveer is known for his dedication. He probably pumps iron 5 minutes before the director says action, just to get the veins popping.
Totally. So, Van 1, rest, Van 2.
Jim.
What is Van 3?
It's Ranveer Singh. It's the wardrobe.
Of course.
The man is a fashion icon. He probably has a van just for the sunglasses and the leopard print furs.
Or, to be fair, maybe it's for hair and makeup or prosthetics, since he is undergoing a physical transformation.
True. But either way, it speaks to the scale of the star. It feeds the myth.
It does. He's so big, he needs a convoy just to get dressed. It fits the Durandar vibe perfectly.
Yeah.
If you're making a movie about excess and power, your leading man can't just have one van like a normal person.
It's method acting applied to logistics.
Okay, let's bring the energy down a notch. We've talked about the high-flying stars and the vanity vans, but segment 3 is about the reality behind that image.
Right.
This week, we saw a wave of vulnerability that I found really, really touching.
It was a very heavy week for personal truths. Let's start with R. Madhavan. We mentioned he's back with Legacy. But he gave an interview where he explained his 4-year hiatus. He used the word disillusionment.
And he pinpointed a specific moment. He said he was shooting in Switzerland.
Which is the dream.
Yeah.
That's the Yash Chopra fantasy. If you are an Indian actor and you are shooting a song in the Swiss Alps, you have made it. You are at the summit.
But Madhavan said he stood there and felt nothing. He felt uncomfortable. He realized the work wasn't fulfilling him anymore. He wasn't connecting with the art.
He was just going through the motions of stardom.
That's a brave admission. To walk away from the peak because the view doesn't satisfy you.
It is, and I think it recontextualizes his return. If a man is willing to sit at home for 4 years, rather than do work he doesn't believe in,
Then the fact that he said yes to Legacy tells us something.
it's a seal of approval.
Exactly. He's not doing it for the money. He's doing it because the script brought him back. It raises my expectations for Legacy immensely.
And it wasn't just Madhavan. We had a moment with Parmeet Sethi and Archana Puran Singh that I think shocked a lot of people.
Oh, that was heavy.
We see them as this power couple, always laughing, so successful. But Parmeet admitted to being an absent bad father.
He didn't mince words. He didn't say I was busy. He said I was bad.
And Archana said she felt alone and weak raising the kids. She said, I was so weak you were missing.
That is a devastating sentence to hear from your partner. It just strips away the PR varnish completely.
It does.
We are so used to interviews where stars talk about work-life balance and how blessed they are. This was raw regret. It shows the transaction cost of fame.
You get the applause, you get the money, but you lose the birthdays. You lose the connection.
And for a senior actor to admit that failure, it humanizes the entire industry.
It reminds us that the success we envy comes with a price tag we might not want to pay. Speaking of success and journeys, there was a photo from the 71st National Awards that captured a different kind of emotion.
Oh, that picture.
Vikrat Massey kissing Shah Rukh Khan's hand.
That image is going to be iconic. You have to understand the history there.
Break it down for us.
Shah Rukh Khan is the ultimate outsider who conquered Bollywood. But where did he start?
TV, Fauji, circus.
Exactly. He was a TV actor. And for decades, there was a stigma that TV actors can't become film stars. SRK was the exception that proved the rule.
And Vikrat Massey.
Vikrat Massey started in TV soaps. Balika Vadu. He was the quintessential TV face, and he fought role by role to break out of that box. Lutera, A Death in the Gunge, and finally 12th Fail.
It's been a long journey for him.
So to see him there, receiving a national award, kissing the hand of the man who blazed that trail, it was a moment of passing the torch.
His TV dreams meeting national honor. It's profound. And Vikrant is everywhere on this slate. He's in Family Business. He's got a romance we'll talk about later. He has truly arrived.
He has. And just to round out this vulnerability segment, we have to mention Gulshan Devaya.
Another incredible actor.
He gave an interview where he listed the roles he wished he had gotten. He said he wanted to do Andhatun. He wanted Varun Dhawan's role in Badlapur.
He said he wants half of Rajkumar Rao's career.
That is so rare. Usually actors pretend, oh, that role wasn't for me, or I was busy. To openly say, I wanted that and I didn't get it and I'm jealous of his career.
It's beautiful honesty. It shows the hunger.
And it shows that even the guys we think are successful are looking sideways and thinking, man, I wish I had that script. It demystifies the competitive nature of the art. It's not petty, it's just ambition.
It's a great reminder that everyone is fighting a battle we know nothing about. Okay, let's shake off the heavy emotions.
That did.
Let's move to segment 4, the comedy and chaos block. Because sometimes you just need to laugh.
And Netflix knows that.
The Great Indian Kapil Show is renewed for season 5.
Yeah.
Now, the notes here mention viewership struggles. If this was traditional TV, would this show have survived?
Probably not. On linear TV, if your TRP drops, you're canceled. But streaming is different. It's about retention and habit.
Explain that.
Netflix needs reasons for you to open the app every single week. A movie like Durandar gets you to open the app once.
Right.
But a weekly show like Kapil's keeps you subscribed. Even if the numbers are lower than season 1, the engagement is consistent. Kapil Sharma is a habit for Indian families.
And the chemistry is still there. Did you see that clip with Sunil Grover?
The retirement joke?
They were joking about Arijit Singh retiring. It was completely absurd.
It was total nonsense. But the way they riffed off each other, that timing is unteachable.
You can't fake that.
That is what Netflix is paying for. They aren't paying for the sketches. They are paying for the Sunil Kapil magic. As long as those two can make each other laugh, the audience will stay.
Another internet sensation making big waves is Bhuvan Bam, Dindora 2.
Titu Mama returns.
This is a massive success story.
Yeah.
From a front-facing camera in a bedroom to a Netflix Slate announcement.
It's the blueprint for the modern creator. Bhuvan Bam didn't wait for a producer to discover him. He built his own audience.
And he's bringing them with him.
Exactly. Dindora was huge because it took his YouTube universe and gave it a budget. Season 2 is just smart business. He brings a loyal army of fans that traditional Bollywood stars would kill for.
And Netflix is definitely leaning into chaos. We have Desi Bling.
Reality TV, scripted, what's the deal?
The source says extravagant characters, wealth, drama. It sounds like Bling Empire meets Delhi or Mumbai high society.
We love watching rich people have problems. It's a guilty pleasure.
It is.
It flatters us. We look at them fighting over a diamond bag and think, my life is simple, thank God.
Exactly. And then we have Super Sabu with Sandeep Kishan and Mithila Palkar.
This sounds like a slice of life gone wrong comedy.
Yeah.
An ordinary man named Sabu whose life just spirals.
Sandeep has great comic timing, and Mithila is the queen of relatable content.
It feels like a comfort watch.
And speaking of comfort, with Saphir Cafe, Vikrant Massey again.
He is working overtime. This man does not sleep.
A romance with Vedika Pinto. Journey of self-discovery in a vibrant cafe setting.
This is the antidote to Durandar. If you don't want explosions, you want a latte and a love story.
And it's good to see Vikrant do something breezy. He's been doing such heavy roles, Sector 36, 12th fail.
He deserves a coffee break, literally.
It just shows the range of the whole slate. But we need to pause the celebration for a moment. Segment 5. Music, Memory, and Tributes. We lost a legend this week, S.P. Venkatesh.
A massive loss. He passed away at 70.
For listeners who might not know the name, if you watch Malayalam cinema in the 90s, you lived in his soundscape.
Absolutely. He defined the melody era. Films like Klukam, Dhruvam.
Klukam is one of the greatest comedies ever made.
And the music was the heartbeat of it. S.P. Venkatesh had this ability to create songs that were just so gentle. They weren't overproduced. They had a purity to them.
It's a very specific sound.
Losing him feels like the end of a chapter of nostalgia, the audio cassette era.
It's important to remember the architects of our memories. Speaking of nostalgia, Lucky Ali is back.
Tu Jane Hayakahan?
The review notes say it's relaxed. Maybe too relaxed.
That is the Lucky Ali brand. He's never in a rush. He's a vibe.
But is vibe enough in 2026?
I think nostalgia does a lot of heavy lifting for him. We love him because his voice triggers memories of Osanam, but the critique is valid. If the song is just vibes without a strong melody, it might just drift into the background.
While Lucky Ali drifts, there is a war happening in the playback world. The Amal Malik debate.
Oh, this is spicy.
Amal Malik defended his choice to use Sonu Nigam instead of Arijit Singh for Mir Dolna 3.0.
The Boo Boo Laya track.
And the question itself implies that Arijit Singh should be the default choice for everything.
Which is the current trend, right? Arijit is the voice of the nation. But Amal made a really good technical point. Mir Dolna is a classical-based track. It requires intricate harkets and classical control.
And Sonu Nigam is a technician.
He is a master of that specific style. It highlights the fan loyalty, though. The Arijit camp versus the Sonu camp.
It's the modern Kishore Kumar versus Muhammad Rafi debate.
But I love that a music director stood his ground. He said, I chose the voice that fit the song, not the voice that fits the algorithm.
That is artistic integrity.
It really is.
Okay, let's look to the future. Segment 6, global crossovers. This is where things get really interesting culturally. Made in Korea.
Starring Priyanka Mohan.
A journey of self-discovery in Seoul.
This is genius, absolute genius.
Right.
Because India is obsessed with Korea. Look at the streaming numbers for K-dramas in India. They are massive.
It's a phenomenon.
We love the food, the fashion, the aesthetics. Creating a story about an Indian girl going to Seoul. It bridges the two fandoms. It's Bollywood meeting Hollywood.
It's soft power exchange.
And it's smart business. The product placement opportunities alone, skincare, noodles, tourism, are endless.
And on the other end of the global spectrum, Netflix India is marketing the drama.
An A24 production. Zendaya and Robert Pattinson.
Why is this on the India slate?
Because the Indian audience has graduated. We don't just watch Indian content, we watch world content. Netflix knows that the person who watches Family Business also wants to see Zendaya. They are acknowledging that the Indian subscriber is a global citizen.
We want the masala, but we also want the prestige drama.
And we want them on the same screen on the same day.
Before we wrap up, let's do a quick fire round. Just give me the pulse on these updates. Border 2.
Unstoppable. Crossed 280 crore. It had a dip on Monday, which is normal, but North India is treating this movie like a religion. Sunny Deol is having the best second act in history.
Golmaal 5.
The rumor mill says Akshay Kumar is the villain.
Akshay versus Ajay in a comedy.
It's Ajnabi vibes, but funny. If this is true, it's a guaranteed blockbuster.
Fetch.
Season 4 is the finale. Rishi and Dimple are saying goodbye. Prepare for a lot of crying emojis on Twitter.
And finally, hello, Bhashan.
Vineet Kumar Singh directing. A show about school life and dreams. Vineet is a very grounded filmmaker. I expect this to be the dark, horse, heartfelt, realistic, and probably a tearjerker.
We have covered so much ground today. From the luxury of the JW Marriott to the vanity vans, from the violence of Durandar to the vulnerability of Parmeet Sethi.
It's been a lot.
What is your one big takeaway?
If we zoom out, I think 2026 is the year where the boundaries finally dissolved. The boundary between South and North is gone with shows like Legacy.
The boundary between TV actor and film star is gone with Vikrant Massey.
And the boundary between Indian audience and global audience is gone.
It feels like the industry is finally offering a full buffet, not just the same 3 dishes.
Exactly. And the audience is smarter. They know when an actor is being real and they value that vulnerability, but they also still really, really like explosions.
It's a complex relationship. Here is a provocative thought to leave you with. With stars like Madhavan and Vikrant Massey being so open about their struggles, and shows like Family Business dissecting the cost of ambition, are we entering an era where the Indian audience finally values authenticity over star power? Or, looking at the Durandar hype, do we just want bigger explosions?
That is the multi-crore question. I think we want both, and the platform that gives us both wins.
From headlines to heartbeats, you've been listening to Bollywood Deep Dive by IndiaRevue.com. Catch you where the stories are.